Let's talk some Tesla. Caroline Woods joining us from New York, down 1.5% this morning. Kind of a litany of headlines for Tesla, Caroline, but one that stands out, of course, is the one and only Mr. Dan Ives.
I know, Oliver, when we think about Tesla's biggest bull, I think so many of us would think about Wedbush's Dan Ives, although he didn't have the highest price target on the street for the EV maker until today, actually, when he released a note earlier this morning, hiking his price target from $515 to $550 a share. So previously, CFRA had the highest price target at $530. Now Dan Ives is on the top, of course, has an outperform rating. This comes ahead of earnings next week. Tesla reports on the 29th, which is Wednesday. Ives said he has growing confidence in the demand delivery story for 2025, and of course, draws his bullishness from fast tracking of autonomous under the new Trump administration, calls it the golden age of autonomous, has growing confidence that the next 4 years will be a total game changer for both autonomous and AI, and thinks that's actually worth at least $1 trillion for Tesla alone, which he's been saying. And he really says that Musk's bet on President Trump and the White House will be known as the bet for the ages. So Ives thinks that Tesla could reach a $2 trillion market cap by the end of this year. He says over the next 12 to 18 months, as autonomous takes shape, he calls the cybercap the golden goose of Tesla. And though there will be this anti-EV focus around emissions and removing the $7,500 tax credit for EVs, which would, of course, hurt an EV company, he said instead there will be this laser focus on both autonomous and AI, and Tesla stands to be a big beneficiary. Also calls out Google's Waymo as, or Alphabet's Waymo as being a beneficiary as well. It's not just AI, though. He actually says he's also bullish because of solid delivery demand, specifically calling out the core China market. Expects to hear positive commentary around delivery demand on the earnings call next week from Musk. It comes, of course, after a big fourth quarter delivery miss and Tesla's first year-over-year delivery declines. So, we'll have to see what Musk has to say about that. But it's not just an AI story, but obviously drawing a lot of bullishness from this golden era of autonomous, as he said. Also important to note that new 550 price target assumes no value today for Tesla's robotics company, Optimus. So the bull case for 2025 from Dan Ives, which I know you don't like, the base case versus the bull case, but his bull case for Tesla is $650 a share. So Tesla, as you said, currently about 1.5% lower this morning, trading around $418 a share. It's the only Mag 7 in the red, although actually Apple just joined it. So Apple and Tesla, the only Mag 7 names in the red, still up almost 4% so far in 2025. And of course, has had a huge run, up more than 100% over the past 1 year. Really, the back half of last year, really November, December, where we saw Tesla get those huge gains. So it's trading about 14% away from those December highs.
All right, $419. I never really got what the problem was with waiting for it to hit a price target before pushing that price target up. But all right, new information, and we must change.
They play catch up, so they have to.
No, I'll give them credit. I love to give analysts credit when they get it right. But yeah, because this wouldn't be 489 is the high, right? So they still, I don't know. I guess new information hits the market, and you got to pump the numbers up. But what is the new information exactly?
He actually had some conversations with management over the past few weeks. He said so. I think that likely that's where he's drawing his bullishness from. It's also earnings next week, so we hear from analysts ahead of that, I guess, kind of gambling because we don't actually know what we'll hear, but sort of setting the stage for this conversation around solid delivery demand from Musk next week. But if you take a look, obviously analysts have always been very split on Tesla. The median price target is around $298 a share. So, when it comes to analysts being right versus wrong, there are several that could potentially be wrong based on some of those other price targets. So Dan Ives at the high end. We know Gordon Johnson is always at the low end there, still maintains his bearish case. But it really all centers around the fact of if you look at Tesla, of course, as a car company, or if you look at it as an AI autonomous tech company, and Dan Ives very much makes the case that for years he's looked at it as a tech company, and in his note today continued to make that case. And we've heard other analysts. I know Adam Jonas has a $430 price target. He's over at Morgan Stanley, and something like $260 of that price target has nothing to do with EVs per se. So he's another that very much looks at Tesla as a tech company.
Okay. Yeah, definitely true, right? And that kind of has, been the thing that's caught on, more than a car company for sure. Something way more than a car company. There weren't a lot of other car company CEOs at the inauguration, I don't think, as involved in the campaign. That is true. So there you go. So if it looks like one and jumps like one, then it's probably a tech company. All right, so $550. Thanks, Caroline. Dan Ives, never afraid to pump up a price target a little bit. Scott Bauer, CEO of Prosper Trading Academy. Never want to shy away from a trade. What's up, Scott? Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning. Boy, lots of excitement in the markets. Lots of uncertainty, but lots of excitement right now. It's a really good trading environment right now, Oliver.
Man, we got the NASDAQ ripping here. Yesterday was the Russell. Today is the NASDAQ. I guess we just flip-flop who's the leader, but something's leading right now regardless.
And you know what? Like you said when you were talking to Caroline there, that's a good thing, right? Who cares? The more we see this flipping, if that continues, and I don't know that that's going to continue, the better trading environment that is. And I'm focusing just on trading, not necessarily long-term investing, but better for trading environment. So let's keep it up.
Okay. The Tesla situation, regardless, how do you kind of balance as a trader?
You don't.
Yeah, I love that. All right, hit me with the trade. What you got to that point?
No, I know what you were going to ask, and that's exactly what I was going to say. There's so much out there, both from the fundamental standpoint of Tesla itself, and then Elon Musk, and then the political side of things. There's just too much for me personally as a trader. So this far in advance of earnings, and I know earnings are next week, next Friday on the 31st. Or the 30th, I think, I wouldn't ordinarily take a trade this far in advance, but I'm going to do that right now because of all the uncertainty. Uncertainty means higher volatility, means higher option prices. So I don't know where this stock is going. I'm looking at some support, some resistance areas, some of the technicals. So what I'm doing for next week is I'm selling an iron condor. I'm selling next week's expiration, 380.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Oliver. Are you there?
It's all right. You got a text coming through from the team. They're saying, Scott, you got the wrong strikes, man. You're supposed to.
That's right.
To buy the iron condor.
I'm selling the 380, 370 put spread. I'm selling the 475, 485 call spread. I'm collecting $4.25. So where does this stock go? I don't know. Next week on earnings. But my room for this, my range is 375 at 75 up to 479 and a quarter for break evens next Friday. I like that a lot. I can make 4 and a quarter. I do have 575 risk on that. But again, as we just talked about, who knows? Elon could say something between now and then that completely alters the landscape.
Okay. The selling of the condor basically gets you trading within this, 5-week range pretty much for the most part? Maybe 3 weeks?
Exactly. And that's what I was looking at. That's exactly what I was looking at. And if it breaks out of that range, it breaks out. And, that's why I do every trade with absolutely knowing 100% what my risk is in case we get an outlier move like you got Netflix this morning. So, that could happen, but I love the option premium here. The volatility is, thanks to Elon, very, very expensive here, and that's what I'm going with.
Okay. All right. Sell the 475, buy the 485, then sell the 380 and buy the 370, all for Jan 31st. So a week-long trade. Getting 425 to bet the Tesla maybe kind of doesn't necessarily, cool off, I guess, the volatility, not necessarily the price directionally.
Yeah, the vol is not going to cool off between now and earnings here. So the premium levels will remain pretty constant between now and then. Maybe I should have put this out at 420. Maybe I would have had a better chance of success on the trade here. But four and a quarter is my price. Again, like you just said, 375, 480 basically is my range. That's where we've seen it recently, and we'll see what happens.
All right. Seems a pretty juicy vol still to be able to get that wide of a range and collect $425. I like it. Thanks, Scott.
I do too.
Like the trade. Appreciate it, CEO, Prosper Trading Academy.